Hey, what's going on? This is Hawk Mikado, the Funnel Genius, and today we're going to be going over how to dynamically create both dates and times so that it updates. So like if you're doing an event, so like this event we're working on creating is going to happen Tuesday and Friday, and they're going to be at different times of days. So Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern and Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And so I wanted to show you how we do this. So the very first thing you got to do is go in and create custom. Now, this is the name of the event. This is a masterclass. And then I have date and then the time of it as well. I could have done _MC here, but I guess I didn't. Now, in order to do that, you just come into settings, you come into custom values, and then you can create a custom value here. Once you've created that, then you pop them into the page here. Make sure, of course, you publish, and then we're going to build out the rest of the sequence. So the first thing is a sequence that you're going to create, and the only person that you're going to add into it is yourself. You'll never have anybody else in this, so there's no trigger. You will literally come here and you will test this workflow. You will add yourself as a contact. The very first thing you're going to do is you're going to create a condition. Now, this condition is a little bit, it's very simple. I'm going to show you a different one that we use for the actual reminder emails for this event that is probably better to do, but what I found is this ultimately does work because of the fact that it's not being, it's just one person, right? So this is kind of the shortcut way. This only works because it's an internal workflow versus an external client-facing workflow that actually triggers based on a client or a lead action versus just me in the workflow once. So in this case, it's just, hey, is this on or before Tuesday? And then if it is, then it's going to run this workflow. If it's after Tuesday, right, and is basically on or before Wednesday, and on or is on or after Tuesday, then it's going to run this workflow. And let me actually pop over to this one really quick so you can kind of see. So this is the proper way to do it. Again, this should function once you have it set up. But if you want to do it 100% right, so there's no room for error, then this is how you would do it, right? So you do is Friday. So this is basically Friday through Tuesday. So is Friday and is after 11 a.m. is Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and or is Tuesday before 3 p.m. right? So that would get this sequence, right? So that would be the same as this. And then Tuesday is the same thing, right? So is Tuesday after 3 p.m., is Wednesday, Thursday, or is Friday and is before 11 a.m. on Friday. And so then it triggers the same sequence. So you could set that up once and then duplicate the workflow to have a purely like 100%, not going to break anything kind of thing. So the first thing we're going to do on these is we're going to set the current day of the week. So again, this is going to be Tuesday at 3 p.m. This one's Friday at 11 a.m. And we're going to format the date. Now, in this case, it is actually technically unnecessary. I have this format date in here just as a fail-safe, and we were using it for something else. So I think it's technically unnecessary at this point. Oh no, that's right. This is why we use it. So we use the format date so we can pull this date here just as the date. So that's why we have that there. Yeah. So the format date it's just formatting literally from what it was to the same exact thing. Now I could change this, right? So if I was international and I wanted to do, December, the 21st of December, doing it this way, or doing it this way, or I could say December 21st, 2023, like that would work too. It might actually look a little nicer on the page. So I'm going to do that. And then we have it here. So this again is just the date. So, right, we have December 21st, 2023 as the example in there, or in this case, March 22nd is the next one. So here it's Tuesday, comma, and then this date format. This is Friday, comma, and then this date format. And then we have the time in here as well. So this is 3, and this is manually typed in. I manually typed this in, and same with this. I manually typed this in. And what I'm doing here is both of these are updating the custom values. So this updates this custom value, and the next one updates this custom value here. From here, we're going to wait for the day. So because this is set at Tuesday at 3 p.m., right? So in military time, that's 1500. So I'm going to wait for 15 hours before the actual event start time. And then when that happens, I'm going to change it to today at, right? So tomorrow, what's going to happen is this day, or it's going to, instead of saying Friday on the page, oops, where's the public? There, instead of saying Friday, it's going to say today, March 22nd, 2024. And, oops, wrong one. And then we have another wait timer here, which waits, I just have it wait for 15 minutes after. Technically speaking, I could do it at the exact time, and that would be totally fine as well. Really doesn't matter all that much. It's just basically processing and updating the event. So we have that. Actually, I'm going to do that because of the fact that this triggers at exactly that time. So that's definitely a little bit safer to play it that way. All right, so now we have that. Oh, the other thing are the go-tos. So each one of these, all three of them, have a go-to that comes here. Now, in the weird case, right, that, and it shouldn't happen, that none of this triggers for some reason, what I want it to do is I want it to give me an internal notification. And it's just going to send me a text message. Now, I have an iPhone, so I get the iMessage, and this would come to on my desktop, and I can actually click this. So all I did was I grabbed this link up here and I pasted it in the text. Again, I did that so I could click on it in the case that this happens. I don't ever expect to get this. I've never gotten this, but whatever, something breaks and it doesn't work properly for some reason, then I'm gonna get this internal notification. And this should all work perfectly fine. If for some reason this doesn't work the way that I want it to, what I'd probably end up doing is I'd take this, I'd disconnect this here, and I'd run it through here instead, and basically say, hey, look, if it doesn't match this one, it doesn't match this one, then it probably means that it's just supposed to go here. And I think I'm going to leave it that way. I just want to, oops, there we go. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it there just like that. So it's going to go here instead, just as like a little fail safe, and then I don't have this repeating thing that's going to happen here. All right. There's that. The next is the actual reminder. So this is the form, right? So they're opting into this form. And then depending on when they opt in, if it's between, those two times or those two times, it's going to send them the emails accordingly. And we're going to set the timer. So it's like, hey, current day of the week is Tuesday, right? So it's going to set that timer to the next Tuesday at 3 p.m. or the next Friday at 11 a.m. And then it's going to wait 0.1 minute. So this is like 12 seconds. And the reason we do this is just to give it a little bit of time to process. And then we're going to wait here for 9 minutes. This is just because I don't want them distracted in the funnel. I want them to continue down the funnel. If I had nothing else for them to do, I would delete this. And if I wanted them to get that notification right away, I'd delete it. They get that immediate email, which is the one that's like, hey, confirmed you're registered for the masterclass. And then in this case, oops, this is supposed to be 4 hours before. So before, and this should be 4 hours before. This should be 1 hour before. And this should be 10 minutes before. There we go. And those are all the wait timers that you need in here. And this will then send out the email sequence dynamically, giving you the ability to set up all of the email reminders and not have to edit them and fix them each and every single time or create multiples. This makes it much simpler. If you got any questions on this, drop in the comments below. Let me know. And if you're not yet signed up with Funneltopia, go to funneltopia.io or join funneltopia.com and get joined now.